So now let's have a little look at how the endocrine system works. So, you need three things. You need a cell that's going to secrete a hormone. You need the hormone itself, which is these little blue dots, and travel through the bloodstream. And then you need a target cell. Okay? Hormones can travel quite a long way, and they can act on lots of different target cells, but they're going to ignore any cells they come across that aren't a target. The way they manage to do these is because of those little green bits that you see. Okay? Those green bits are the receptors, and all the cells which are the target for that particular hormone have a receptor, and that receptor is the exact right fit for the hormone. All the cells that are not target cells don't have those receptors on them. They'll probably have receptors for other hormones, but they don't have any specific receptors for this hormone, and so that's how they get ignored. Okay? So, the main hormones that are produced by them, the adrenal gland mostly produces adrenaline, which you should know is important for the fight or flight response. Your pancreas releases insulin and glucagon, and those two hormones are antagonistic to each other. So, insulin lowers your blood glucose, glucagon raises it. Okay? Main targets for both of those are your muscles as well as the liver, which can store it. The thymus, now the thymus releases thyroxine, and that regulates your metabolism. It's basically the rate at which we're burning sugars. Okay? It'll raise when you're exercising, it'll lower when you're not. Testes, which release testosterone, along with some other hormones, and your ovaries, which release estrogen. Hormones, as well as being able to travel quite a distance, can also last for a fairly long time. Okay, much longer than a nervous impulse. So a nerve impulse, you send it down once, it lasts for a second, you move your arm or whatever, and then it's done. The range in which they can last, though, is quite wide. So something like adrenaline, you get that immediate jolt, you feel wired, you're going to either fight someone or you're going to run away from them, and then it's going to break down and stop working pretty quickly, about 20 minutes. Whereas there are some that can last for a few hours after their release. So your sex hormones tend to last for a few hours. Okay? And they're ones that are, going wild in your bodies right now because they're the ones that are driving currently puberty, but later on are also involved in the production of new babies. So let's look at an example now. An example would be insulin and glucagon. Okay, and the two of them go together. So when you eat, it gets broken down in your digestive system. A few things go into your blood, but one of the most important ones is sugar, and it's glucose, really. And when that glucose gets too high, your pancreas is stimulated to release the hormone insulin. That hormone goes to your target cells, and those target cells are encouraged to take in glucose and store it in your cells as glycogen. And that's going to bring down your blood glucose level. If it gets too low, then the pancreas is stimulated to release the opposite hormone called glucagon. That, again, travels to the target cells, same ones, and it makes your cells turn the glycogen back into glucose. Okay? And yeah, I know some of those are really similar words. Just got to get used to them. So insulin means we store glucose as glycogen. Glucagon does the reverse, tells us to turn glycogen back into glucose. And it's important to keep that in the right level because that makes sure that you have enough energy when you need it without your blood sugar ever getting too high, which can cause significant issues with how thick your blood is and therefore how quickly oxygen gets around your body. Another example, adrenaline, which you may also have heard called epinephrine. It's secreted by the adrenal gland anytime you're under stress. and it targets quite a lot of different types in your body. It goes to your liver, and it causes those sugars that were stored as glycogen to be broken down into glucose. And yes, I know we just said glucagon did that. Adrenaline does it a bit quicker, so it's kind of like, hey, we need to release it right now. It also makes your air passages dilate to get oxygen in, and it makes you get more blood to muscles like your heart and your lungs. The reason it's doing all of this is because you release it when you get a fright, okay? And it's making you ready to have a physical response to that. So you've got the sugar ready to go, you're going to be able to get enough oxygen in, so that if need be, you're able to make an immediate response to that.